Welcome back everyone. In our last video we successfully created a collectible diamond. Right now when we collect it, it just vanishes into thin air. We don't have a score. So today we're going to develop a software application interface. We're going to build a digital display on screen to track our points. We're going to write some code to handle the math. By the end of this video, your game will finally have a functioning score counter. Let's jump in. Alright, in order to do this, we're going to have to use Unity's UI system, but first let's make sure that we have TextMeshPro installed. I already do because I have this folder here in my assets, but if you don't, come up here to Window, or go down TextMeshPro, and then come down here and click on Import TMPro Essentials. You'll get a pop-up box. Mine says nothing to import again because it's imported. If you haven't already imported it, you're going to have a whole laundry list of things. Then press OK. Now, sometimes, I'm going to warn you as we do this, sometimes it's going to not work immediately, and you may have to close Unity and reopen it. So if you do run into an issue where it's not working, that could be why. So we'll go ahead and right click on an empty space hierarchy. Come down to here to UI canvas, then click on canvas. It's going to build a UI canvas that's significantly larger than your scene, just for scale. There's your level, and then there's the canvas, right? And with canvas selected, right click on it, come down here to UI canvas, go to TextMeshPro, TextMeshPro, and then click on it. It's going to add this TextMeshPro element. Now if you look in the game, even though it's in this huge area, it shows up right here in the game, and so that's really what you want to see. If you don't see that text, one of two things: you didn't import the essential resources, or it didn't build right. So when you if you import the essential resources first, then you create it, you're gonna see this font asset here, Liberation Sans SDF, and that's really what you want to see, because then you're gonna see it here. If you have custom text that you like on your computer, you can drag it into a fonts folder. You just create it here in your assets, fonts, and then drop it in, or you could drop it into this fonts folder, that's fine too, and then you'll be able to access it through the inspector here. For now, I'm going to just type in score:0, and I'm actually going to go back to our scene. I'm going to hold down the Alt key and click on this box in the inspector, and I'm going to choose top left, and that's going to snap our if you hold down the Alt key, it'll snap the text asset to that anchor point that you set. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and, just for right now, zero this out so it's at the origin, and then we're going to move it down 100 on the Y, and then to the right 100 on the X. Let's kind of just see what that looks like. So that's still really kind of up close to the edge, so let's bring it over 150. There we go, and that looks a bit better. Alright, with that all set up, let's change the name of this asset to score text, and we will go into our scripts and we'll create a script. Alright, so real quick before we create the script, something I forgot. If we go to canvas, we need to come down here to canvas scaler, and let's change this to scale with screen size. What that'll do is that'll mean that on larger screens, the text will be larger. On smaller screens like laptops, then the text will be shorter or smaller. There we go. That's the word I was thinking of. That's gonna mean we're gonna have to actually readjust this. So now we can go not 50, 125, and then we can go -50 on the Y, and then that'll be our final setup for that. As far as the font size, 24 will be fine. And now let's get to coding. So let's right click inside of our scripts folder, create mono behavior script, and we're gonna name this ScoreManager, and let's open that up. And then there we go. So one thing we're gonna need is we're gonna need a new using namespace for our class. So we're gonna say using TMPro. This will allow Unity to talk to the, oh sorry, not TMP, it's TMPro, and that'll allow Unity to talk to the TMP assets that we have here. So for now, what we're going to do is we're actually just going to paste this in, or you're going to type it, I'm going to paste it in and talk to it. So what we did is we created two variables. We have the integer reference, or the score reference, which is an integer, so it's a whole number, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. We also have a reference to the score text, which is going to be our TextMeshPro asset that's in Unity. Finally, we created a custom public method called addScore. It takes a parameter called amount, that's why it's here in the parentheses. Inside this method, it takes our current score and adds the amount to it. Then it updates the actual score on our screen to say score, followed by whatever the new updated score is. Alright, so save your script, go to Diamond, and go ahead and write in find any object by type, or you're going to reference the ScoreManager script that you created here. We're going to call the addScore function, and we're going to input a score of 1. And now we can save this and we'll test it out. So let's press play. Let's press stop because I forgot something. I need to add the ScoreManager to our canvas, and then I need to add the score text to it. There we go. Now and there we go. There we have it. So now that that's working, I'm gonna press stop, and I'm actually having second thoughts on how I want to do this. So what we're gonna do real quick is come over here with your canvas selected. Let's go ahead and remove that ScoreManager. So click on these dots, press remove component, and I think a better way to do this is to add an empty game object. So right click, create empty, and then you're gonna name this game object GameManager. I was gonna save this for another video, but we'll create it now. That way we don't have to move a bunch of stuff later on. The GameManager is really just an empty object that's going to hold everything for your game in it. There's even it's nothing's gonna react with it or interact with it. It's just gonna sit there in the space of your game, not taking up a very small amount of room, and you literally won't even see it. So but what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold this GameManager, click on it, drag the score component in there, our score script, then grab the score text and drag that in there. And if we press play, it should still work just the same. So we'll test it out just to be quick and And there it is, and there's our score of 1. So just like that, you have a working score function and a working UI that tracks the score. In the next video, we're gonna dive into a little bit of the negative, and we're gonna get these spikes working. That way, when the player falls into it, it will trigger the death of the player. But for us, it'll just for right now, it'll delete him until we create that health system. So until then, keep learning, keep building. I will see you in the next video.